So there's a big debate going on in the media, started by an expert called Deanne Carson in Australia, I believe, where she was talking about asking babies for consent before we change their nappies. So I was contacted by the mainstream media today, asking me if I would appear on television on Monday. I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet, to take part in this debate, and asked, well, what side are you down on? The side of outrage that anybody should be so stupid to suggest that we should ask a baby if we can change their nappy, or the side of, well, of course we would ask a baby for consent to touch them and change their nappy. And no surprises to those who know me, I'm very much on the side of, yes, just taking that moment to check in with the baby before we physically lay hands on it. Now, I can't really see a problem with that myself, but even when I put it on my Facebook page, people immediately jumped in arguing that we have to change babies' nappies and it's ridiculous to suggest that we don't. Again, of course we do. I'm not saying that we leave a baby in a dirty nappy. That would be abusive. Yeah, if it went on, it would be abusive, and we know it would harm the baby both physically and emotionally. This is a discussion and an exploration of consent for another human being to touch another human being's body. Now, before everybody goes, yes, but babies can't talk. Well, they can't verbally communicate, but they communicate as any of us would if we lost the power of speech, which can happen as adults through things like having a stroke, or through dementia. We might be able to speak but not communicate our wishes and our needs, or because we have some form of learning disability, or so there's lots of ways that we can't verbally communicate. But if somebody was going to suddenly touch us in some way, then we would hope that they would still talk to us and they would look and seek some sign from us that we had understood that they were about to have a physical interaction with us. So why is this different for babies and toddlers? I just don't get it. Why do we have a different standard of respect and body contact with a baby and a toddler than we would with an adult who couldn't verbally communicate? So really what I'm talking about is, when we approach a baby or a toddler to have some kind of physical, particularly an intimate connection with them, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It just needs to be that moment of, oh, I just need to change your nappy now, so I'm just going to pop your legs up if that's okay, and then waiting for some little signal or sign that they at least heard the words that we're saying, because over time, because their brain cells are connecting up based on what we do and what we say to them, they'll begin to associate those words, lying on the changing mat, just the stuff that's going on around them, with slowly they'll make a connection between that and the nappy change. And what we're teaching them is, I respect you enough to give you this information, pause for just some little sign that, a relaxation, or just some connection that babies are giving us all the time if we slow down and we tune into them, that this feels okay to carry on. And, when we do this, we are showing babies and little children a huge amount of respect. We're saying to them in an unspoken way for them, you matter enough as a human being that I just give you the heads up on what's going on in life. Oh, I'm just going to pop and get your milk warmed now, or, oh, it's time for bed, so let me pick you up and carry you upstairs to bed. I don't know why it's any different when it comes to changing nappies, because it's just all about communication and respect. And the beautiful thing about particularly it's about the body, is we plant the seed in a baby and we grow the idea in a toddler that your body is yours. It's not mine, it's not the doctor's, it's not the teacher's, it's not some stranger's, it's yours. And so you have a right to show that no, not at the moment, I don't want that done. I might in a minute, but just at this moment, for whatever reason, I'd like you to just respect that my body's not ready to have that happen, whatever it is. And I know that can be a bit inconvenient sometimes, and it might even seem a bit over the top, but you're giving them a lesson that when people want to touch your body, you first and foremost have a right to say yes or no, or maybe let me have a think. Because moving forward through life, that's an incredible lesson to have early on, and it's really empowering for children, and it means that later on, when they are in any situations in life, but particularly in intimate relationships or other situations they might find themselves in, that they would really know very clearly, I don't have to let anybody touch my body or do anything to it if it just doesn't feel right. And if you think of the world that we live in now, where, many children very early are online and they're accessing things, like, I don't know, WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook and Xbox Live. These are the places where all the sexual predators hang out. And they are really good at getting alongside of children, grooming children. And they'll take a really, really, really long time doing this. Before they might talk about anything about, just show me, you told me you had a mole on your top, just show me, I can see the mole. They'll do it that subtly. And, for a child who's had this from birth, they'll know straight away, that just feels a bit funny, and I'm going to say no. And actually, I'm going to come off this call now and go and tell the grown-ups that I trust that there was this person, they say that they're 12 and they're called Jack, but I don't know now. So that's what you're growing when you go on this beautiful journey with your babies and your toddlers about just slowing things down and offering this little gap between, something that of course has to be done. They do have to have a bath, they do have to have their nappies changed and all those things. But, much like ourselves, we don't like people to physically grab us and lay hands on us without some kind of indication or permission asking, would you like a hug? And then a pause. So let's not make this anything big and scary, because to me it really isn't. It's just a very, very beautiful thing. And a lovely safe thing that we can put into children's lives very early on. So I hope that makes people feel a bit more comfortable with this debate, and let's get behind what's being said about this, because to me it's real progress, and it's very, very exciting as we all step up even in an even stronger, better way to protect the children that we all love so much.